Hello everyone. Probability is the measure of the likelihood of an event to occur. Events can't be predicted with certainty but can be expressed as to how likely it can occur using the idea of probability. Probability can range between 0 and 1, where 0 probability means the event to be an impossible one and probability of 1 indicates a certain event. So today, let us discuss something more related to this in our lesson probability. Define probability. Probability means possibility. It is a branch of mathematics that deals with the occurrence of a random event. The value is expressed from 0 to 1. Probability has been introduced in maths to predict how likely events are to happen. Formula for probability. The probability formula is defined as the possibility of an event to happen is equal to the ratio of the number of favorable outcomes and the total number of outcomes. So probability of event to happen is equal to number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes. Sometimes students get mistaken for favorable outcome with desirable outcome. This is the basic formula, but there are some more formulas for the different situations or events. Experiment. An experiment is a procedure that can be infinitely repeated or any series of actions that have a well-defined set of possible outcomes. Can either have only one or more than one possible outcomes is called the sample space. Trail. A single event that is performed to determine the outcome is called a trail. All possible trails that constitute a well-defined set of possible outcomes are collectively called an experiment or sample space. Experimental probability. The empirical probability of an event that may happen is given by probability of event to happen is equal to number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. Probability of an event. Assume an event E can occur in R ways out of sum of n probable or possible equally likely ways. Then the probability of happening of the event or its success is expressed as Pe is equal to R upon n. The probability that the event will not occur or known as its failure is expressed as probability of an event dash, that is Pe dash, is equal to in the bracket n minus R close the bracket upon n is equal to 1 minus in the bracket R upon n. E dash represents that the event will not occur. Therefore, now we can say that probability of an event, that is Pe plus Pe dash, is equal to 1. This means that the total of all the probability in any random test or experiment is equal to 1. Coin tossing experiment. Consider a fair coin. There are only two possible outcomes that are either getting heads or tails. Number of possible outcomes is equal to 2. Number of outcomes to get head is a 1. The probability of getting head is equal to number of outcomes to get head upon number of possible outcomes, that is equal to half. Rolling of dice experiment. When a fair dice is rolled, the number that comes up top is a number between 1 to 6. Assuming we roll the dice once to check the probability or possibility of 3 coming up. Number of possible outcomes is equal to 6. Number of outcomes to get 3 is equal to 1. The probability of getting 3 is equal to number of outcomes to get 3 upon number of possible outcomes is equal to 1 upon 6. Sum of probabilities of favorable and unfavorable events. When trial is done for an expected outcome, there are chances when the expected outcome is achieved. Such a trial or an event is called favorable event. When a trial is done for an expected outcome, there are chances when the expected outcome is not achieved. Such a trial or event is called an unfavorable event. All favorable and unfavorable event outcomes come from the well defined set of outcomes. Suppose an event of sample space S has an n favorable outcomes, then there are S minus n unfavorable outcomes. The probability of favorable and unfavorable events happening depends upon the number of trials performed. However, the sum of both these probabilities is always equal to 1. So, this was all about our lesson probability. As we know, probability refers to how likely an event is to occur. Probability is used in all types of areas in real life, including weather forecasting, sports, investigating, and more. So, studying about them is very important. Thank you, students.